It's kind of buried at the moment, but originally I was going to make a video of that. A Dell Dimension 9200. Let me see if I can actually get a look at the front of the machine here. Not much. And of course I got packaging material all over the place in here, but you can see it's pretty empty. I replaced every component in that except for the motherboard, and it still didn't work. It just gave me an amber power light of doom, so unfortunately not much I can do with that. And that would have been a nice one too, because that one has an Intel Vive sticker on the front, so that would have had Intel everything, including Intel Ethernet, which would have been very nice for something like a server, but alas, it's not meant to be. I can tell you something that is meant to be, and something that I know works, at least somewhat, is this. Remember when these used to be in everybody's household? Well, not this exact model, but this case. Yeah, sign of the times. I don't think I've seen one of these in person. Probably, actually that's not true, because I did see a couple of them a couple of years ago. But before that, like out in the wild, other than at work, I haven't seen these things probably in 5 or 6 years. It's been a very long time since I've seen one of these. This one's nothing special. It's a Dell Dimension, what is that, 1100? 1100, whatever you want to call it. Normally wouldn't even really be worth picking up. It doesn't have a floppy drive, and I don't even have a carrier to put a floppy drive in there, so it really doesn't even matter. It's only got the Celeron D, and they try to confuse you with that Celeron D crap, because, I mean, the Pentium D is a dual-core chip, but I don't think they ever had any Celeron Ds that were dual-core. So I don't know why they called them that. It was kind of silly. I'll probably look it up and put it in like a video title or in the description or something later. This one's not in the best condition ever. I haven't cleaned it yet, so you can't really see in this lighting, but it is kind of dirty. But I do know at the very least that it boots up. The CMOS battery is probably dead because it gives me a double beep, but I was using it to test some hard drives, at least for spin-up conditions. So there is one thing. It was missing the power supply, so it's actually got one of those in it. Of course, it's not going to keep that because that's just a cheap, junky, probably 50-watt power supply at best, and even then, 50 watts with no protection. So if it blows up, it's going to blow up the computer and your peripherals. You can take a look at the back. You can see serial parallel VGA. These are diagnostic LEDs, the A, B, C, and D type, the older type. PS2, audio, 4 USB ports, Ethernet, and there is a modem installed as well. Here's the power supply, which you can see looks pretty much identical to that, because it is. I like these cases, which is really the only reason why I grabbed this. These, I believe, were made by MyTech. I think that was the OEM for these cases. And given the bargain basement stature of these machines, these are very well-made cases. I mean, it's good quality, solid metal. It's not pop-canned crap. It's got a very nice toolless design. Of course, it's easier to get the cover off if you've got two hands, which I might actually need. Okay, have a look inside here. You can see, well, if I move my knee out of the way, you can see that I have very definitely not cleaned it yet. It's just got random hardware in it. I don't know what that optical drive is. I don't remember. It said on the front, I'm sure somebody's going to point it out, but I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I think it's got a 120 gig hard drive, just because that's what I put in there, because it was the biggest drive I could find that was IDE and, you know, didn't shriek. But I think 120 gig is good. It's actually a ball bearing drive, but it's got quiet bearings, which is amazing. And of course there's the little flip-up thing that Dell was known for. The other thing that kind of attracted me to this is that there are no blown caps on the motherboard anywhere, which is an oddity for these Dells, because they tended to be capacitor easy-bake ovens. The clamshell uglyplex so-called designs, and there were some dimensions with that case too, those ones were much worse than these dimensions were in this MyTac case, but they all pretty much suffered from that problem. So either way, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some peripherals, and I'm going to hook it up, and I'm going to see what it actually does, because right now I don't actually know. I don't know how much RAM is in it. I don't really know what exact Celeron D is in here, if it's even still a Celeron D. So we're going to find out together, and it'll be fun. Hey look, Dell monitor for the Dell computer. Not a Dell keyboard though. The lights flickered. Alright. You can hear it's very definitely a fluid-bearing drive. I didn't plug in the monitor. That's brilliant. Give me a moment. Okay, well here we are. DEO51. Probably a revised BIOS for this. You can see 2.53 gigahertz. On one hand, I'm kind of tempted to upgrade this to a Pentium 4 because the extra cache would probably be nice, but on the other hand, having something with a Celeron D in it might be just neat for the diversity of the computer collection. And that's really what this is just going to be used for. It's not going to be used for any real practical purposes. At least none that I can think of right now. The date and time is actually correct, so maybe the clock battery's not so bad. I wonder if that hard drive actually doesn't work. I thought it did. I'm gonna have to inspect that. It might be because this is a Dell. I may have to set it to cable select in order for it to work. I'll have to investigate. So, it will boot to USB. That's neat. So, ooh, 1 gig. Wow, that's not bad at all. 333 dual channel. I didn't think DDR did have channels, but I guess it does. It's PC-133 that didn't. 533 megahertz front side bus, obviously, because it's 2.53. Everything seems to be pretty standard. I don't think you can really change anything. Oh, you can. So we'll change that to an ECP. Probably fine as it is. Why is the diskette interface off? That's kind of odd. 1 or 8 megabytes. You might as well just leave it at 8. Set it to last mode. Leave all that. I think everything is pretty standard. So what's it complaining about? Let's take a look. Keyboard error. I wonder why it's complaining about a keyboard error. Anyway. So we'll save, changes, and exit. I don't think it's going to boot to that hard drive, because I think the hard drive is not being seen correctly. Oh, that's probably why I was complaining, actually. Thinking about it a little bit more carefully. That's probably why I was complaining. Let's take a look. Diskette drive 0 seek failure. Well, there is no diskette drive. So I'm going to have to change that option. Yeah, I don't think it likes that hard drive. It's either bad, primary drive 0 not found. Okay, so I'm going to do some inspection here and see if I can figure out what's going on with respect to these drives and try and get this configured properly. Here we are. It's because of a well-known glitch with these Western Digital drives, or I guess it's as they're designed, I don't know, but if it's the only drive on the bus, you have to set it to single. There's a difference between single and master. I don't know why. just that there is. So now it is seen. It looks like everything is working. I turned off the diskette drive. So hopefully with any luck, this will work now. And we'll see what it'll boot into. Although depending upon what it starts up into, if anything, I may need to stop the video. Oh, it's unhappy about something again. Oh, the drive must be blank. Well, let me see if I can find a Linux USB stick to boot this up with. Okay, let's see how well the USB boot support works on this. Not very well, evidently. So let's see what we can do. Does it actually support USB booting? No. It looks like it does not. That's interesting. Now, I could swear to you that there was a USB boot option in this BIOS. Which is odd. Oh, the hard drive was disabled. Why is the hard drive disabled? Yeah, the USB, it should boot to USB, but, well, it won't boot to the hard drive. The hard drive is taken out of the boot order, so we'll see what happens now. Unplug that USB device. Almost shoot my camera across the garage. Hopefully this will work. It's extremely hot here. No. It's not happy for some reason. Maybe it will only boot from the rear USB ports? I don't know. It's been a while since I've had a computer that wouldn't boot to USB. It's been a long while since I've had a computer that wouldn't boot to USB. Here we go. IDE USB flash drive. There we go. Should be able to just start Linux Mint. That might take a while. Forgot to get a mouse too, dang it. Okay, so we can take a look at what's going on here. Obviously there's no network. Well, we could check the hard drive. We could actually see if there's anything on the hard drive. Unknown. So it's unable to detect the file system, so I don't know what's on it. I guess whatever's on it doesn't matter. I hope it doesn't matter, because I am going to eventually erase it. Not with Linux Mint. I'm not going to put Mint on this. It's probably going to end up like a Windows XP machine or something similar. Or Arch Linux is a possibility, something different I haven't played with before. I'm trying to remember where the system information happens to be on this. Maybe not. I thought it did, but I guess it doesn't, so... In any event, I think that's probably going to pretty much do it for anything that I can do with this, because there is no way I can look at what's on that hard drive, because it looks like either the partition's damaged or it's just something invalid to start with. So, whatever the case may be, that's pretty much it for this video, so thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. System works. That's really all that matters, because that's what I was after, to determine whether or not it worked and to what level. We've made a pretty good determination of that. I just got to clean it out.